Yes, welcome. Or if you've been here before, welcome back to the Fiercely Fulfilled Feminine YouTube channel, where it's all about sacred sexuality, twin flame backed unions, sexual sovereignty. Yes, yes, yes. Today, I am going to lay down the framework that I use with my clients to help them reclaim their sacred sexuality and step into their sexual sovereignty. Yes, my name is Ann Hayes, aka Mama G, sacred sexuality and feminine sovereignty mentor who empowers purpose-driven twin flames to alchemize sexual trauma into embodied power with my sacred sexuality reclamation method within the structure of the reclaim process so that you can experience true intimacy, lasting fulfillment, and radiant feminine sovereignty. Yes, before I continue, I've got a 40-day sexual shame detox happening right now, completely complimentary, right here on YouTube, where I share reels, short reels every single day so that you can unload that shame and create the space to begin the process of reconnecting to your body and your sexuality in the most sacred way. There's an introductory video. I am going to drop a link in the description below, so please be on the lookout for that. Okay, let's get right to it. The reclaim process, by the way, is something that I came up with on my own journey as a way to really accelerate and help you to create dramatic shifts in your own transformation and your own ability, not only to integrate what's been activated within you, yet as well as the ability to embody that and to live that. Big difference, okay? From activation to integration to embodiment, heaven on earth. I'm going to begin by giving you what each letter in the acronym stands for, and then I'm going to give you a little bit more detail as far as what I take my clients through so that you get a better understanding of what could be possible for you. This is literally like a 90-day, 12-week retreat, high touch personal experience with yours truly, somebody who's been there. Okay, reclaim or reconnect to your body's wisdom. E, express and release your pain. C, cultivate deeper self-love. L, this is a fun one. Liberate pleasure and sensation. A, activate your authentic voice. I, really important, integrate into daily life. And finally, M, magnetize connection and support, because that's ultimately what it's all about. Okay, so let's come back to reconnect. Step one in the process. By the way, this is a process that's not linear. It can be spiral depending on who you are and how you show up. You're going to actually, you may go back and forth. We may be pulling from 3 or 4 different elements within this process. Again, this is flow. This is a transmission. This is a feminine curriculum that where I work with you depending on how you show up and intuitively being guided as to what you may need in any given moment. So with that being said, here's the thing, reconnecting to your body's wisdom. I do something called the Body Reconnect, and I actually offer 30-minute complimentary sessions with this. So I'm going to include that link in the description as well, where the first step is to guide you to be able to reconcile shame. That I have found that that is the number one overriding heavy emotion that becomes trapped in the body in big ways, dense energy that really blocks you from being able to move forward and to be able to integrate and embody in the way that I know that you truly want, especially your feminine essence. So we reconcile the shame. There are also obviously suppressed emotional imprints. What does that mean? It means that there are events that happened in your life to which you attached, not consciously, what are considered negative emotions, more like lower vibrational emotions that can feel heavy and dense and actually can block the flow of chi or life force energy in your body, including sexual energy and what it can do to help you to transform and create. In other words, you're not getting full access to this, which is why you may feel overwhelmed, exhausted, experience a lot of fatigue. That's definitely a contributing factor. So we start to remove the heavier aspects of those emotions, because I'm guessing if you're here, you've already done quite a bit of that work already. Yet I'm here to tell you that I had already been on my healing journey for almost 2 decades, and I didn't realize just how big a piece that shame was. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, that, and I'm telling you, the 40-day sexual shame detox, woo, you'd be surprised what comes up. All right, let's see. Okay, also along with shame, I help you to tap into other primary emotions such as guilt, anger, hurt, pain, grief that goes with sadness and pain. And grief is a big one that goes right in there with the sadness and the pain. And unloading these and alchemizing these and purifying and detoxifying, okay, is going to elevate your overall core frequency. This creates space because now your nervous system now has the capacity to be able to take in new information, new awareness, and to sustain and hold higher states of conscious awareness. So literally, you're bringing in a higher current, okay? More clarity, suppressed memories rise to the surface. Here's the thing. When you bring those suppressed memories to the surface, it's not because you're dancing around the story. It's because you get to let go. You neutralize the charge. When you bring the memories to the surface, and you don't have to. Sometimes you just feel the emotion and you let go of it. Sometimes it's just a matter of bringing the story to the surface, and that's enough to let go of it. It can look very different in different people. So we're not dancing around the narrative of the story. We're simply neutralizing the charge. So that story may still remain, okay, and yet you're not going to experience the same emotional charge that like leaves you in emotional overwhelm. That's the key. Okay, so what this does is that it automatically grounds your body in your energy, and it allows you to be more present. So you're less likely to ruminate, you're less likely to dwell on the past or to worry about the future. And this is a beautiful thing. It also allows you to soften into a greater sense of inner safety. And here's the key: receptivity. You see, because that's a big aspect of your feminine essence, is being able to receive the masculine, to receive energy, to receive support, to receive divine downloads, to receive divine intuition, to be able to tap in more readily and easily, to receive the flow of abundance, whatever that might be. It automatically allows you to soften into that. Think about like a sponge, right? Like a hard sponge that has no water in it. It's just stiff, right? It can't really do the job. Yet when you add a little water to it, and that might be your tears, it's softer. It absorbs more. It's able to do what it needs to do. Okay, so we're still on the first step. Okay, I mentioned the 40-day sexual shame detox. Okay, so in this step, I introduce a lot of techniques to help to calm the nervous system. Conscious breathing is a big one in a child, parallel timeline integration, okay, and obviously other ways to allow you to help to express and release pain and trauma. And that brings us to step number 2, which is express and release pain. So again, this is not linear necessarily, okay? So these overlap and these spiral back. So here is you actually have the ability to not just neutralize the charge, to let go of the painful emotions attached to certain memories as you bring them to the surface, you are able to identify patterns that were once hidden, trauma patterns, triggers. I call these those aha moments, like, oh my God, it's spontaneous insight through the guided processes that I share. It allows you to further process and release trapped emotional energy, trapped energy that creates dense energetic blocks, again, that disrupt the flow of chi. And when there is a disruption in the flow of chi, which is also known as your life force energy, then your brain, your nerves, your spinal cord cannot communicate properly with the neural network throughout your body, with your tissues, your glands, your organs, even the cells. Okay, there's a whole network that there's a back and forth, two-way communication. Think of the power of communication. It's not just one-sided. You don't want to get ghosted here. Okay. So releasing this pain further allows you to 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 stop that ghosting loop within your own system first. I find that very, very interesting. Okay. In fact, the vagus nerve is the longest nerve in the body, and it literally goes from the back of your head all the way back all the way down into the pelvic region. And yet it has this extensive nerve network throughout your body. It's like Wi-Fi. And when you have trauma, it's not a clear signal. It's a little sketchy. It's a little choppy. So what we do here with the first and second steps in this process in particular is to strengthen that signal, to get the chi and the vital life force energy to start to flow better, so there's communication within your own system and your biofield. And that starts to open things up. And what that does is create space for embodied freedom. So already talking about embodiment, okay? Because freedom, when you're removing trapped energy, you're purifying, you're detoxifying, you create the space, like I said, the capacity to receive more, to embody, to begin to embody already the feeling of lightness and liberation and just letting that go. So this actually helps you to attract more elevated energies that fuel, that feed your greater sense of calm, more happiness, okay? And the ability to surrender, where you're no longer reacting to situations. Okay. So here, I guess I do help you as far as calling back your beginning to call back your power, um, to guide you in being able to protect your energy. This conscious breathing and many other techniques, as I've mentioned, breathing with purpose. Okay. And let's see, where am I? Um, okay, let's go to step 3. And this is, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. REC, wait, step 3, cultivate deeper self-love. Here's the deal. I have found that even the most enlightened, or those who have been on this journey for a really, really long time, those who've done deep level inner work and transformation, there's always more self-love that we can bring to the table, because we're ultimately looking to reunite with the divine. And that's the deepest level of self-love you can find. So that to me is an important aspect of the process of your own reclamation and embodiment. So this is where I support you in dissolving what is known as protective shutdown and avoidance patterns. Yes, there's the anxious attached and the avoidant attached. Okay, that comes up a lot within the twin flame community. So you, whether you're aware of it or not, you have your own ways of protecting yourself, and you have your own ways of avoiding true connection and true intimacy. And I help to bring you into awareness of that. This is where, now the word cultivate means to nurture. It's like if you think of cultivating crops, right? You every single year, I know when I lived in Italy for 4 years, Now you grow the crops, but yet at the end of the season, after the harvest, okay, you've got to kind of prepare the land for the next season. Okay, this is the next season in your life. This is you preparing for who you are becoming, your new identity as the sovereign goddess in the full embodiment of your radiant feminine essence. Okay, so you got to pull out the weeds, you got to pull out, stumps and whatever remains, you got to work the soil. What they do in Italy, and they probably do this in many other countries as well, is something known as prescribed burning. They literally burn the fields at the end of every season. At first I said, oh my God, there's all these fires in the hills. That's known as prescribed burning. It is controlled. And so that's what transformation is. Kundalini energy, fiery energy. And yeah, it's going to burn through all the demonic old belief systems and trauma. Okay, so this is also when I begin to introduce specific tantric techniques. The focus initially will be on heart alchemy, pink tantra, which is really, really important, getting you to open and expand your heart space, getting you to connect your what is known as the lower heart with the upper heart. In other words, we're looking, connect, heaven or earth, the thought through the thymus gland where the 144 immortal cells are found, okay, because they're connected to infinite energy and source. I mean, I'm talking about divine source here. They can't ever die. Okay, so that's bringing you and connecting those two, which is really, really a critical aspect of the journey. And of course, 144 hertz is considered maybe 144,000, the frequency of unconditional love. Okay. So this is where I guide you to remove stagnant energy, not only in the heart, yet within the pelvic area, within the sacral chakra, the root chakra. And I have some specific techniques to help you to begin to move that energy, access that energy, direct that energy, and to help you to recode that area to its original divine function. So there's a lot of sacred movement. And this is when I begin to really intentionally help you to work with the Kundalini energy, which is your sexual energy, which is Shakti energy, which is the energy of transformation. This is where I also work with you on restoring worthiness templates, remembering who you truly are. Okay. I mentioned heart alchemy. We're going to be processing a lot of grief. In fact, if you choose to take part in the 40-day sexual shame detox, you will likely experience a tremendous amount of grief. And that actually is a beautiful preparation to be able to access your sacral and to bring these two centers together so that your heart they can connect. So your heart can say, I forgive you, it's good to go. There's a reconciliation there. So we do use that Ho'oponopono prayer. We do reconnect the heart to the sacral in a nurturing divine mother way. Okay, what else? Let's see. This is where I introduce a very powerful guided visualization, again, to reprogram your yoni, okay? And again, accessing the divine mother. Okay, that is step number 3. Step number 4, the L. This is a fun one. Where did I put it? Oh, I got this. Liberate pleasure and sensation. This is when, and this is typically depending on who you are and where you are and how quickly we can work through this, because I meet once a week with my clients. And of course, there's check-ins in between and opportunities for like emergency type calls. This is probably about halfway through where you've done, a lot of heart alchemy. You're able to ground and stabilize and open up and access more of your sexual energy. This is when I begin to very slowly and safely reintroduce pleasure and receptivity. This is where we'll work on dissolving further shame. Perhaps there's still some numbness, maybe in your sacral area, because most likely if you're showing up with me, you've likely repressed your sexual energy, or maybe it's been expressed in a way that hasn't brought you true satisfaction. Perhaps there's fear that needs to be unloaded in that area. So essentially, I guide you through touch to reprogram your body for embodied pleasure, full body pleasure. And that's part of what allows you to be able to begin to embody your feminine essence. So it's self pleasure, it's self intimacy. Yoni witnessing is a big aspect of what I do. It's really tapping into all of your senses, a sensory experience. You are a body. That's what embodiment is here. We're not here to transcend the 3D. We're here to transmute it. We're here to bring heaven to earth. And that's what embodiment is. And I help you to do that through pleasure and sensation. That's a big part of reclaiming your sacred sexuality. Okay, next one. I think we're all right. RECL. We're on step number 5, which is activating your authentic voice. It is connected. All right. Hold on. Let me see where I am. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Activate your authentic expression, which includes your voice, which includes your creative expression. The way you write, the way you speak, the way you interact, the way you communicate, the way you conversate. Vocal play, whatever it is, chanting. This is when I introduce intentionally more sacred sound involving chanting, some vocal play, potentially practicing role playing, potentially as far as how you communicate with yourself and with others, potential conversations that may be challenging, yet that are going to allow you to grow and step into the type of intimacy that you'd like to experience with a divine partner. You get to practice that. So this is where I focus on clearing silence, secrecy, and fear-based programming. I'm going to tell you, if you want to jumpstart, go to that 40-day sexual shame detox, because I work with that. That's where I will reintroduce again the tantric mirror work. We'll talk about nonviolent communication, loving what is. We'll talk about how to really look at the mirroring, especially when it comes to triggers and communication and conversation and your ability to express yourself in an authentic way. Um, let's see. This is where you're going to be resolving all old wounds, forgiving self-forgiveness, forgiving others, reconciliation. We'll look at making amends. We'll look at a moral inventory. I introduce letter writing. I mean, there's a lot of different creative ways that we can do that. I also guide you to tap into your own creative expression. Like I said, vocal play, sacred sound, music, art, sketch, design, whatever it may be for you. Light language, if that's for you. I don't speak light language. My twin sister does. That may be something that you begin to express as you heal and transform. So again, the techniques I focus on here are going to be techniques that remove any stagnant energy or dense energy in the area of the throat, and then start to harmonize that and bring that into coherence with your sacral chakra, because your throat chakra and your sacral chakra share harmonics. One is going to support your sexual expression and creative expression. The other will support your verbal expression. Okay, they support each other, and they're both a very important part of intimacy, because you want to be able to not only express your needs and your desires and your boundaries, okay? You want to be able to express the joy of pleasure, whether it's simply being touched, whether it's being caressed, whether you're enjoying, like climax or orgasm, or the sensation of that orgasmic valley that I'm not getting it right. Anyways, we're bringing in more and more sensation through the voice. Okay, being able to express your desires. Maybe you're just sharing like some of your deepest sexual desires and you seem like they would be taboo. Maybe there's a shadow aspect or a shame aspect to it. Again, this comes up in the 40-day sexual shame detox. I'm saying you can get a complete jump start on this, all complimentary. Okay, so what else do we have here? I think we're done with that. Okay. All right. So yes. Okay, also talk about how to protect your energy with the power of your voice. This is where you can verbally call back your power. Reclaim your voice in relationships and intimacy where you are able to share with vulnerability. You're able to listen. You're flexible, developing your open mindedness, learning to hold space for somebody else free of judgment, free of shame, free of the need to give advice. Again, tantric mirror work is a powerful way to begin to do this. Okay. All right. So now we move on to, let's see. Okay, RECL. ECL, like it's is it number 5? Oh, wait a minute. We did reconnect to your body's wisdom, express and release pain, cultivate deeper self love, liberate pleasure and sensation, activate your authentic voice. We're actually on step 6. We have 7 altogether. Step 6 is integrate into daily life. This is where the process where you're going to find, even before this, that there will be opportunities, experiences, circumstances, others that are going to allow you to practice boundaries, expressing your needs, perhaps having a challenging conversation, developing reconciliation, whether it's a brother, a friend, a family member, a past lover, just somebody at the grocery store. These opportunities are going to show up in your day-to-day conversations and interactions and life experience. There are opportunities to practice you stepping into your new identity, to heal, to grow, to evolve. This is to solidify new patterns and your personal power. And of course, I would be there to monitor you and support you in it. Okay? Big, good stuff. This is where you apply transformation to relationships, to intimacy, self expression to finances, to your health. In other words, your vagal tone will improve. It'll become more harmonious. You find your voice will change. It will actually increase in frequency, and you will find that it's actually more magnetic. Like people will be drawn to you when you speak. That's what it, in other words, you start to express more of your authentic signature song. Okay, you'll find that your finances, you will increase your capacity to not only ask for, yet to receive money, abundance in whatever way that may look. It'll also encourage you. You're going to just automatically increase your prices for whatever you choose to do and how you serve, automatically increase your prices, increase your desire and worthiness and investing in yourself. It's also automatic age reversal. You become more youthful, attractive, magnetic, and it's going to show up in your life. I'm telling you, it's where you get attention from others, not in a sketchy way, in a way that honors and reveres who you have become. Your posture, you're going to change the way you walk, the way you enter a room is going to change, and the way people respond to you is going to change. This is you stepping into your new identity, and this is where the last and final step comes in. This is about embodiment, like totally landing in that new identity of who you have become, that, like I said, that sovereign goddess, in your sexual sovereignty, in your total worthiness, in your total like just creating your own queendom is what I like to say. So this is where you start to magnetize even before connection and support. Okay, this is where you're able to sustain your embodied feminine power. So what does that look like? It's where you've got the confidence, softness, trust, balance. You protect your energy. You have a strong intuition. You're sovereign. You have an inner authority. You increase your visibility. You follow through on divine guidance. You surrender to creative flow. You ask open-ended questions to support you. In other words, your lead from soul, your life, your business, whatever it might be. You are leading from soul and not logic, from feminine flow and your feminine essence. At the same time, you are building masculine structures in your life and in your business. And this naturally attracts more love, more opportunities, and aligned relationships. That last part is really, really important because, especially if you're on this twin flame journey, you may or may not end up with the first person who activated you. This is why I refer to it not necessarily as your twin flame anymore, more as a divine connection, not even a divine counterpart. What is the connection for you right now? How has it activated you? How is it helping you to grow? Can you do? What increased awareness do you have? What can you do to integrate this? And what can you do to eventually embody it? And it's about you. Now, if you're in and out, push and pull, separation, coming back together, that's a whole nother process that is very valuable. And you get to you that may in fact be the aligned relationship for you. You'll know if you show up with me as your mentor. I have a lot of information because of the coaches that I work with and the communities that I'm a part of, where I can actually empower you to determine that for yourself. Are you currently in an aligned relationship? Are you growing with it? Is there a connection, whether it's energetic or physical or both, that's allowing you to be able to grow and to transform and to step into who you are becoming in that new identity? So aligned relationships is really, really important. You will magnetize those in, and you will have the discernment to be able to say, okay, nope, this relationship is not for me. I love this person. I will always love this person, yet I need to walk away because they gave me what I needed. It served me, and that purpose is done. So let me move on to that next aligned relationship that matches my new identity and my new overall core frequency. Okay. Let's see. Like I said, it's like a 3-month retreat, high touch, laser focus, the reclaim process. If you feel like this is a fit and you'd like to apply, because I don't just accept anybody, I only coach a few clients at a time. I'm going to put that link in the description as well. You can apply. We'll set up a call, and there's some questions I'm going to ask you. There's going to be an application you're going to need to fill out. And if it looks like a fit, like I said, we'll get this reclamation started. We'll get this embodiment going fully, okay? Dramatic shifts in 3 months working with me one-on-one. In the meantime, in the happy time, access that complimentary 40-day sexual shame detox. Access a 30-minute complimentary body ReConnect session. Continue to access these videos and these reels and these shorts rather, because they're here to support you. Even better, like, comment, subscribe, share. Because why not share something that you feel is supporting you and benefiting you? That's part of what it means to be in your embodied feminine essence as well. We shine together. We support each other. We're a sisterhood. We're a brotherhood. We're a human family. Okay, there it is. You all have a beautiful day. The reclaim process. Please let me know if you have any questions. Much love.